Welcome to the second section of team manager training, where we're going to look at the Kyck website. This is where we add players and request player cards for US Club Soccer, which is the cards that we need if we play NorCal in the spring or the fall. The website address, you can either search Kyck Play, or the actual address is play.kyck.com. The first time you come, you're going to come to the home page and you select login. You'll need to create an account. So when you first come to this page, you'll need to create an account. It'll ask you your first name, last name, email address, and it'll ask you to create a password. Once you've done that, it'll send you an email which you verify. The email address is what has been assigned manager access to whatever teams that you're managing. So when you log in, you should be able to see all the teams that are associated with that email address. So once you've verified your account, you'll log in. Here is your opening page. If you have different kids in different clubs or playing different sports that also use Kyck, you may have multiple options here. Of course, you select Burlingame Soccer Club for dealing with for the team that you're managing. Then the drop-down box at the top, you should be able to choose the team you're managing. Again, if you have access to multiple teams, you'd have multiple options here in your drop-down box. So I'm going to choose Burlingame Star 06 Girls Gold, which is the one I'm looking at today for going through how to find my players, add players, and check on my player cards. So straight away, I'm going to go to Players. I have an overview, Players, and Cards, three tabs I'm going to look at the most. My overview, I can just see straight away all my kids, all my staff, and my team information. If I go to view all players, I can see the players that are on my team. Likely you'll have the majority, if not all, your players here. So if I go down, I should have 13 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hopefully either all or the majority of players there. But if you have players who have joined your team recently, you'll need to add them to your team. So to add a player to your team, you go to Add Player. You're going to type in the details it needs. I'm going to use Test Player for now. So Test Player. The ones with the star I need to answer, female. If it's got the incorrect gender or birth year, it should flag it for me, but I'm going to put in 01/01 2016. So again, I'm adding all the details of this is the new player who's joining my team that's not listed on my players already. Now in here, it's asking me for the contact email and phone number. test@gmail.com, and phone number is 40859. So I'm just adding, of course, just details to get me through here. Now, if your player is coming from a different club, possible match found, it'll give you the chance to maybe find a player. Oh, hang on. 2006. Test. Okay. Based on the email and the phone number you enter, it may actually give you possible matches that are found in the system already. So if I was indeed adding Derek Nolan to my team, I would choose him from here. The benefit of that is if I choose someone who's already in the system, they may already have their birth certificate, their waiver, and their picture already loaded in. But it's not Derek I'm looking to find. I might take that out. Don't put in the player's email. We do not need the player's contact email. Here you type in the address of the person you're adding. Of course, you need to have all this information ready when you're adding your players. California, 9444. Now again, earlier on it gave me Derek as an option. If you are adding a player from another club who's played, by entering their email and their phone number, hopefully you can find the person you are adding. If for some reason you can't find them, maybe you're using it, they've changed their email address, they've changed their phone number, and it's not actually flagging the person you're looking for, it's no problem. You can add that player again. If a player joins you from another club and you can't find them, you can add them again. It's not a problem to have duplicate entries for the same player. It'll just mean you'll need to add in their details again. And we're going to add player to team. So I'm adding test player to this team. Okay, now if I go to all players again, view all players, test player should also now be on my roster. I've added test player. So where the test player, halfway down, you'll see I can need and add a picture. And I can view, I can delete the player if the player is not on my team, but I can view the player. Here I need to add a photograph, the proof of birth, the birth certificate, and also either a medical waiver or certify that I've got a paper waiver with me. And you'll see that for all the other players that has been done. So I've got, for all 13 players, I should have those details, photo, birth certificate and waiver all loaded in. Once I've got all my players listed, so now if I've now added player 14, if I've got additional players, I'd go back and do the same process again. Maybe I'd add test player or test 2 player, and I'd go through the same process. If it's someone who's in the system, maybe that person gets found. If not, I need to go through. Then make sure you upload all the key forms that that player needs. So make sure you go back in, update the birth certificate, the medical waiver, and the photograph. Now once we've got our roster, we're going to go and print out our player cards. So we go to card and we go to print cards. So when I go to print cards, you'll see that only the 13 players who've been approved I can print the cards for. So Victoria, all the way down to Cora. Then I obviously have my coach and my team manager. I can either print off their player cards one by one by selecting and pressing print, or I can just print all cards. If I print all cards, I should get a PDF that I can just print off, and it should have all my player cards on there that I can print and I can laminate. Now you'll notice in this list my test player is not included. That's because I've not yet requested her card. When the first time she gets a card, I need to request the card. So I go to request cards. She should be there. There you go, test player is there. But I can't request her card yet. The reason why I can't request her card is because she hasn't got the required items. So until I upload her birth certificate, her medical waiver and a picture, I won't be able to request her card. So as team manager, I'd upload those details. They then get verified. Once they're verified, it would come up as a check. Once it comes with a check, I can then highlight. I'd highlight one. I'd highlight the second one. Then I would go to request cards. There's a cost to requesting cards. The first time you request cards for a player, there's a cost to request a staff card. It's $25, I think, per staff card. There's a cost to request a player card. I think it's $15 per player card. That is a team fee. So as a manager, you'd be responsible for purchasing the request of cards, and then you'd be reimbursed by your team treasurer for that cost. Once you've requested the card, it may take a day or two, and all of a sudden those requests would be approved. They'd go into the print cards category, and then you should be able to find your 14th player listed on our list. So again, we have we log in, we see the teams that we're working with, we have our overview. Now you should see test player is added here as well. I can go view all players. I can add a player based on the information I put in. It'll try and find a player already in the system based on email and phone number. The benefit of adding a player is the fact that they'll have their details already in the system. Once I've got all my players listed, I then need to now get their player cards. If I go to view, print cards, and I take all cards, it'll be all the ones that are approved. These have all been approved. Print card, I can get them. If I'm requesting a card, I need to first make sure that all the documentation is listed. Once it's been listed and once it's been verified, I then need to buy those cards, $15 per player, $25 for a staff member, request them, and once approved, they'd come up on your print cards list. Hopefully that helps you with some basic overview of Kyck Soccer and printing and requesting player cards.